You want to safeguard your health, maximize your immune system, grow muscle, and lose fat faster? Prova Immune is not herbs and spices. It's not a proprietary blend. It's patented. It's a one-of-a-kind product. It's backed by science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Prova is a protein antibody. It's different. It's real science and gets real results. Check us out at prova.com.
You're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail?
Welcome back to Iron Rage. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined as always by Lee Priest. And Lee, I received an anonymous email telling me to unfollow Lee Priest. Oh, you love me. Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know that's a notepad I have here. It has all different things on there. My perfect day. Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's one I'm watching.
Well, yes, anyway, actually, I was told to unfollow you on
Yes, I'm actually going to try get this email. I can't say where it come from, but it's from a reliable source that, you know, when I told people, look, Generation Iron shit, they're only putting out shit now. I think they put out something with George Farah not long ago. Is bodybuilding dangerous? Everything's always got that negative connotation. It's like, you know, we know it is because I remember, I won't say who, but I know a client of George Farah's who I knew personally a long time ago who George Farah helped and almost killed him with the drug cycle. So, you know, when they ask someone, is bodybuilding dangerous, there's a person to ask. But everything they put out is just trashing the sport. I saw a bit of, someone sent me a link to that Otto Ortiz one where he started, you know, talking about fighting, which is great, talk about fighting, and now all of a sudden they're talking about, well, steroids in bodybuilding. What do you think about that? I think Craig interviewed him. So everything's always just crap. So I just put out a thing, stop following them, which I did publicly, but they've gone around telling people who they've, you know, maybe sponsored or helped out and stuff to unfollow Lee Priest. It's almost like an order. They've been told.
You did put out an order 66 on them, I see. Too,
yeah, I did it publicly. I didn't go email all my friends, stop following them, stop following them. I just put out a thing saying, hey, but they're actually sending out emails to people, almost threatening them like, well, if you don't stop following Lee, we won't put you on our channel anymore. So I'm going to get a copy of the email, hopefully, and then hopefully the email will have all the people in it who it's been CC'd to so we can see all the wanks.
Well, I mean, for people who might not know what's going on, you know, Lee had expressed that he was unhappy with, you know, the final, you know, product that Generation Iron put out on his documentary because he was supposed to have the right of first refusal to see the documentary, and they kind of cut out all the personal friends of his. And he put this thing out there, and then they went and dug some footage up of Lee's mother they had interviewed, and they said Lee became a bully because he was bullied. Now, the funny thing is the clip that involved his mother, the interview with his mother, she never once said that Lee was a bully anywhere. So Lee put out a public announcement to stop following Generation Iron, which I'm sure a lot of people, and I know that a lot of people stopped following them because they actually emailed me and told me they did. Not that I care one.
I got hundreds of people telling me they did, like my inbox, as I stopped following. But then they'll actually show me where they commented on the bit about my mum. They're like, you people are dicks putting up his mum and that. And then it showed me their message to Generation Iron. Then the next thing it showed me, Generation Iron blocked them. So anyone that said anything positive about me, Generation Iron's just blocking them now. So
that's a lot of blocks they got to put out there because you have a lot of fans, obviously. So
but they started the whole thing with the whole Bob thing and then my mum thing, and then it's like, why even bother? You know,
I'm surprised they just didn't ignore you. And you know what? The point I made initially was all that they had to do is collaborate with you in a positive way and make the documentary according to what,
Like
they promised you they
like
were going to do. And you would have been the greatest promoter of all time of that document. They probably would have made more money on that documentary than anything else they produced, probably.
Well, that's the thing, because in the contract it did say I'd get final C of it.
Yeah.
Well, not the final, but, just before it really goes to where they put all the music in and all that shit, so I'd see the interviews and that. So when I told him, well, you've left this out, you left that out, you left this out, Craig said, well, I'll go talk to Edlers. Okay, because I said I want it in. I said, even if it's 2 minutes. I said, how can you do this video and not have my 2 training partners who I've been training with in Australia for 8 years, who I travel with to come with me everywhere?
Sure.
How can you not have people that have known me from a young kid in it? But you throw in 8 or so minutes of Jay Cutler, who just talks about me selling my trophies and shit. I said, wouldn't you want people in the documentary that actually fucking know me? But
I guess
and
not.
he comes back and goes, oh, the Edlers said we can't do it now. I'm thinking, why? What do you mean you can't do it? You haven't released it yet. Of course you can do it.
Now, there is a rumor going around, Lee, that you are an alien and that you are a time-traveling alien. And we received a picture, a photo, of you from back in the 1900s, early 1900s. And this just proves that you came from the past and you traveled into the future. Let's put that picture up on the screen. And I mean, the evidence is irrefutable. That's you, Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, that is me. I'm like the Highlander. There can be only one. That's why I have so much knowledge, Dave. I've lived through many centuries and, I've seen many empires come and go. Let me tell you about a time I was sitting on a mountaintop with Genghis Khan. Oh.
Playing your bugle.
Yeah, exactly. That was back in the war days, yes. I don't like to reflect on those war days. Lost a lot of good friends back then. But before then, when I was back in the Spanish Inquisition even, and going back before then, the whole love for lifting weights probably come from when I used to help stand there and tell them how to build the pyramids. But, they wouldn't listen to me. They wanted to take the long way. But
they wanted to. I understand they wanted to burn you at the stake at one point too, and you somehow slid it out of that. Yeah,
I got out of that. I said it was this girl. Over there. I said, see that girl over there? Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Joan of Arc. Yeah, that was your girlfriend at the time. They burned her instead.
Right. Blamed it on her, I'm like, look, she's bleeding. She's a witch. She's a witch. She's like, that's my period. No, it's not. She's a witch. She's a witch. The demon's in her.
That's because you're a bully. That's why, that's what it comes down to,
bullying
man.
People from the beginning of time. Marie Antoinette, I made up some rumors that she was sleeping around, so fucking husband cut her head off,
There you go.
When you look back through history, David, all these atrocities that happened and that, I was the cause of it all.
Yeah.
Hey, Adolf, do you know what? Fucking Mr. Jew over here said about you? Yeah, well, tell you. What? I'll kill them all. Yeah. I was the instigator for everything.
You're a very big instigator, for sure.
Well, I did like to keep the Lee, but, if you go back in time, my real name was Lucifer, but, you can't go around these days.
Lucifer Priest would have been a really good
Yes, but you can't use that name in public these days, so I just changed it to Lee,
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Now,
look at this tattoo. Look, can you see this one?
What's with the Hold on, what's with the fingernails?
Look, Lucifer. I've even got the tattoo on my arm.
What does that say?
Now I'm going to get hate mail from that. Oh, the fingernails, lockdown. My wife wanted to do my nails, so...
You look like Lucifer now.
The thing is, I've done this before, but I've had probably 20, 30 guys now sending me pictures. Hey, Lee, good idea. They've all had their daughters or wives paint their nails for them because I said I'll give a T-shirt to the prettiest nails. But how's this. I don't want to say what religion. It's sometimes like the Muslim or the Indian type people that writing to me. I used to follow you in bodybuilding, Lee. You were a great bodybuilder, but now you've done your nails. You're just gay. Okay. I used to do this years ago. Then sometimes I used to only do one and put like a little diamond on it. And back then, but yeah, they forget that it was my wife that did my nails, not my boyfriend. My wife did.
What that means is that
after she did my nails, she sucked my cock. So if that's gay, then I'll like to be gay.
What they don't realize is that this is just a sign that you're fucking going stir crazy, stuck in your quarantined house there. That's what it means.
I actually like it. It's like they were black, and then you put this covering on. It gives it like a beetle wing effect.
You look like I'm trying to figure. It almost looks like it's like a car finish. Like it looks like the finish on a car or something.
Nice, isn't it?
You did a very good job. I'll say that.
Yeah, but then I had, like I said, I got tons of videos now on Instagram of guys sending me their videos of their little daughters painting their toenails and their fingernails. Everyone's getting into it. It's the newest craze nowadays.
What do you do if you chip a nail now?
Oh, look, you use shellac. This stuff's really good. I used to use it back in the day because if you wear it to the gym, it's really thick. It doesn't chip or scratch. Normal nail polish, Dave, look, get with the program, mate. It just chips off. This is like a shellac. Even to get this stuff off, you've got to pretty much soak your fingers in acid. You probably burn your fingers off before you get rid of the nail polish.
Nice. Well, it does kind of match your tattoos a little bit. So
a lot of people said that. They said it matches the tattoos, but yeah, you ought to see some of the hate mail I got for doing it. You're gay. Someone's like,
I think you do it purposely.
Someone goes, "Oh, is that what your gay father taught you to do?" I said, "No, actually, your father did while he was blowing me. He did it actually." So
I think you almost do it purposely to get the people antagonized so that they will send you these funny emails.
Would I ever do that, Dave? Come on now.
Nah. Now, I know you're pissed off about the coronavirus restrictions. You posted, I saw on your Facebook, you posted a whole thing about restrictions and that you can't go out of your house unless you have to go out of your house, and then you can go out of your house. What's your take on all these restrictions that are out there? What's the purpose of them, do you think?
The purpose is to see how much the government can control us and see what we'll bow down to. I'm actually enjoying watching some of the videos from the States of the people protesting now. Yeah. And they're getting out on the streets, and there's a couple of them, I think it was in Ohio, even walking through Ohio with their camo gear on and their big fucking machine guns. Yeah. Like going to war. I think, great. Well, it's ridiculous. It's like, I put up a thing the other day too where it was contradicting, where it says, you need social distancing, but yet you can go to the supermarket where there's lots of people. You can't go here. You can go for walks where there's lots of people around. You've got to keep this distance apart, but then you can't go here. It's like everything's contradicting. And now, I'm not sure if we have the COVID. I can't pull it up on here, but there's an app now called COVID Safe you can get on your phone. And if you download the app, what it does is it runs off Bluetooth. So if I download it and you download it, yeah. But the thing is that you got to be near someone for 15 minutes, and then it does that like electronic handshake. So later on, if that person gets COVID, it lets you know that you were near someone that had COVID. But I'm thinking, with all these restrictions, you can't be around anyone other than who you live with. Who the fuck are you standing there for 15 minutes? Right. At that distance. I said, the app would be better off having something like Tinder has, where you push a button and it says, find someone near me who has COVID, and it instantly tells you. But 15 minutes later, but then the government goes, we're not going to use it to track people and stuff like that. But then there's some other private company that is going to use it.
Well, they're already tracking us. Believe me, I get in my car and it tells me.
That's what people say, because if you've got Facebook, they can track you, this and that. But this is just a whole other thing where they can know who's got it, where they're going. But they're saying too that with it, it's like when you get the whole thing done, you got to be that distance apart for them to pick up on you. If you're too close to other people, it just picks up like a random.
Oh, I get in my car, Lee, and my phone all of a sudden, unbeknownst to me, says 5 minutes to 7-Eleven, and it projects the route. It knows exactly what I do on a daily basis, where I go, and at what time, and it knows where I'm probably going to go. So that's pretty scary.
I was looking at this new, I think it was the McLaren or Lamborghini now, because you know how it's got the air ride where it can go up and down. So with the older Lamborghinis, if you come near a bump, you got to stop, push a button, raise the front of the car up. Well, the new one now has 100 different settings where if you go somewhere, within 3 seconds it raises. Wow. But then, of course, it's got the GPS in the car. Say you have to raise it for your driveway, or you have to raise it for the petrol station. Of course, it runs off the GPS in the car. You only have to do it once, because then the car learns when you go to that location, it'll automatically raise up for you. So everything's good. That's why we need to go back to the old 69 Camaros, no fucking GPS. That's right. No, go back to the old little flip phone like Greg has, where you don't fucking have the smartphone. They can't track us.
Let me ask you a question, because you know what? According to you watched that same interview with what was the guy's name? Dr. Bakar? And
Rashid Bakar,
Yeah, and he said, what they want to do is once this vaccine comes out for COVID, even though there is no COVID, once the vaccine comes out, that they're going to want to chip people so that they'll know who's vaccinated and who's not, because they're going to want to make it mandatory. Would you, number one, take the vaccine, and number two, would you let them chip you?
No, I've never even had a flu shot. And on there he was even talking about the different types of flu shots, and he was even said, "I bet $1 million that everyone that's had the H1N1 shot, this flu shot, all joined together is what's causing this whole COVID-19 thing."
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to watch people go, oh, like he said, conspiracy theory, but he had all the documentation to back it up. He's even got all the documentation of where you can see Bill Gates hold sort of patents on these corona-type viruses and pushing for the vaccines and stuff. And that's another thing about, how like in China they control people, where I think Ike even talked about it with that monetary system where they can give you credits and stuff.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. This new app I'm talking about, the one COVID Safe app, here in Australia, people who are on unemployment get paid welfare from the government.
Right.
So in the hotspots in Sydney and that, it was on the thing a couple of days ago, if you don't download this tracking app, you will not receive payments from the government. So you have to have that app on your phone.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Interesting.
It's already started.
It's already starting. So what will you do? You'll just say no? You'll just, you won't take the vaccine?
I just, if you got a doctor friend, you can just go and say, hey,
wink,
tell him
wink.
he gave it to me, give me the paper, and then we'll see how it goes. Or if there is a chip, maybe just say, look, give me the chip, don't inject it into me. And if you've got like a little bracelet like this, just tape it under your bracelet. Right. So if you have to go somewhere on a plane, it goes, beep, I'm in.
Well, you know what? The guy makes a good point. He's like, why are all the people who are going to be vaccinated worry about the non-vaccinated people? Because if you're vaccinated, who cares? You can't get the disease, so what do you care if Lee Priest gets the disease for?
I said that to you years ago, remember? Because here in Australia, they have what they call it, no play, where, you have child daycare centres. Right. And if your kid's not vaccinated, you can't send your kid to childcare or school. But then I said, well, why is that? I said, if there's 100 kids in a class and 99 have been vaccinated, and I don't believe in it, and I don't have my son vaccinated,
right,
why are you worried about anything? Your kids have been vaccinated. If my kid gets sick, your kid should be safe, right, technically. Right. But it's like the whole flu thing. Touch wood. I've never had the flu shot. Never. If I had the flu, I get mild symptoms, and then I get over it in a couple of days. Sure. But I've had friends that get the flu shot every year,
and sometimes
in a week or two, they're out of work because they're super sick. I'm thinking, didn't you get the shot? I'm like, well, what's the point of it? It's like when you go to these countries where my friend went over to India, and where they swim in the Ganges River, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In there, like people shit in it, piss in it. They bury bodies in it. You know how they sink the bodies? Like, this water must be totally polluted, but those young kids go play in it, not a problem. If you or I went to play in it, we'd probably have a stomach bug.
Oh, we'd get dysentery, absolutely, yeah.
That's the thing, because those countries, their immune systems just build up naturally.
Yeah.
Even that Dr. Rashid was saying that's the thing, even with young kids, right now they're getting them as babies and giving them all these vaccines and stuff like that. It's like the body even hasn't had a chance to build up its own natural antibodies to fight off natural things, because like when you go to Mexico, don't drink the water. We drink it and we'd be sitting on the toilet shitting for a week. The Mexicans probably just go and drink it, no problem, because their body's used to all those sort of things. Africa, that's why when you're young, you go play in the dirt, you'd eat dirt, you do this, do whatever. You never really got sick. But now parents are like, don't play in the dirt. Let me wash your hands with this, antibacterial, this and that. So no one's immune system's building up. And even like you were saying before, just the whole, didn't he say on there that back in the day, before these vaccines come out, it was like 1 in 29,000 had autism. Now it's like 1 in 29 get autism and stuff. And we're meant to be vaccinating for this sort of stuff, but yet more people are getting sick.
Yeah, well, it was interesting that he said that he felt that autism was exclusively because of mercury poisoning. Yeah. And it was because the people who were, in other words, some people can handle mercury and they don't get sick, and other people, they get mercury in their system and they get autism from it, kids.
And it's good how he explained it too. Yeah. Didn't he say like it was the methyl type and different types of mercury, and then how he said that when he had to go to Congress that time, where they were saying that one bottle was labelled, I forget the name of the technical name, but it said it was free. Had
thimerosal,
yeah. It's like it said it was free, but then they tested it and it had it in it. They're like, well, it was in the other thing. So when we put that in here, it's like, but we didn't add it to it. So technically we can say it's not in there.
It was added after they created the vaccine as like an after effect. So it technically wasn't part of the vaccine. That's how they...
Yeah, so the FTC could actually say... well,
why they're putting mercury at all in these vaccines, is that's the real question I'd like to know. Wouldn't you?
Like you said, that's the thing. Like people can sit and go, "Oh, Lee and Dave, you're full of shit." Just like I said, I'm not saying one way or another, but I've always said through my whole life, I like to question stuff. Yes,
Sure.
you might get this point of view, but then I recommend that everyone go watch his video, because like half of his have been ripped down of YouTube. A lot of the other ones from London Real have been ripped down, and even the way he explains 5G with the 3 billion or 30 billion, things going through the body, how it can affect your immune system. And he's even said, I'm not saying 5G causes corona, but it just affects the immune system that way, that it breaks it all down and does the molecular structure why people can get more cancer. He goes, well, why are there so many more cancers now and so many more this and that? So that's it. It's worth watching just to keep an open mind.
Yeah, I think it's a freedom of speech and freedom of thought. So you should be able to think your own things. And we're not saying one thing's right or not, but it is interesting to contemplate.
And he even says that. He goes, I'm not trying to push people one way or another, but like I said, he's been through congresses, he's been a top doctor, he's even been in the military, and he talked about his military stuff where he goes, we're fighting for country and that. But he goes, I can tell you right now, with the Rangers or whatever, we went on many missions where we had to take our dog tags off, take our flag patches off. If we're meant to be doing something good for America, why can we not show that we're from America? We've got to do these secret missions and stuff. So yeah, it's a very interesting watch. It's sort of a long one, it's like 2 hours odd, but it's worth watching.
It's definitely good. It was on London Real's website, their direct website. You got to go to London Real.
And then I even sent you that one too about the whole counting again of the COVID thing, where you got the top CDC doctors saying, yes, we have been putting them down. The numbers are high because we have seen on the death certificates, even if someone has died of cancer, but say they were in hospital with stage 4 cancer, and while in hospital they got COVID, but even though the cancer killed them, if they got COVID in the system, yes, we are marking them down as a COVID death. Like,
yeah, they're artificially inflating the numbers, essentially. Now, let me ask you this question: if you think that we'd ever get to a point where, you get to the Mr. Olympia and they're trying to, if you don't have a chip saying you're vaccinated, they won't let you on stage. You think it would ever get to that extent?
Well, I don't know. The Mr. Olympia shouldn't care. It'd probably be the only thing they don't have in their fucking system.
It's the least of their worries, right? Yeah.
I got DECA test and fucking growth hormone, insulin. I'm not putting that shit in me. Fuck that. That could do something wrong. That could make my stomach bloat out. I'm not fucking putting that in, all right? Like some of them, I know a guy here.
What the government should do is they should tell all bodybuilders you get a free kit of Serostim GH if you go get chipped. Guaranteed everyone would go get chipped, right?
There is a guy here, they're in a company here now that is chipping people, but he actually had to take it out because there was some law that it wasn't thing. But yeah, they put it right in here on him, in that part of his hand. Right. It was on the news a couple of months ago, and he was just going everywhere, like to his house. He got unlocked the door. He goes to the supermarket, and of course, it's got the info of his credit card, like the pay wave thing. Yeah. He just puts his hand there, it goes beep. So it's like, well,
they're trying to sell it based on that, like convenience, almost like you have like an iPhone inside your hand or something like that,
Well, it's even like now, like here, some places won't take cash, but people have been paying with cash, and people are getting upset because they said until the government says we're not accepting cash, it's illegal to refuse cash. So there's been people going into stores here, say they brought $50 worth of fuel. They go to give it to them, no, we're not accepting cash because of the virus. They're just leaving it on the counter and walking out because they have to take it by law until the government says, you know. But people have got up signs, we're not taking cash, we're just taking the credit card or pay wave type of stuff.
Do you think that we're going to be having a cashless society pretty soon?
But it seems like they're going like that, because even before this whole thing started, I was in the mall a couple of months ago. I was just getting something. I had $100. I pulled it out. I was in a store. Oh, you don't have a card? I don't have change for that. I'm like, what, $100? You don't have change in your till for $100 fucking dollars? I'm like, sometimes they look at you weird when you give them cash. They're like, oh, it's funny too, because they automatically go to type it in on their little pad. And as soon as you hand out cash, they go, oh, cash, and they've got to delete that and actually do the thing. It's like
they actually have to figure out the change. Yeah, exactly.
They're actually expecting everyone to go to thing. And it's weird, though, because I used to like the old days, when you had the old, this is going back to this, how old we are, when you have your credit card and they'd go on the thing and write in the amount and you'd sign it. Yeah. And there used to be some stores, even a couple of years ago, where I remember I was in one store and there was a blackout, and they still had that thing where they could use your credit card. Right. But now if you're anywhere now in a supermarket or anywhere and the power goes out, excuse me, people, can you leave the thing? Everything shuts down because everything's run by computers now, and the scanners, they can't do anything anymore. It's not like the old checkout where they could push the numbers in and the numbers pop up. Ding, goes the till. But everything's, like I said, so controlled. That's why I said go back to the old cars, because that way, if they do have that thing where they can shut everything down and turn your car off and track you, get an old 69 Camaro, there's no computers in it. You know, if it breaks down, put the rag around the pipe and keep on going, and a bit of tape, and you're off you go.
Exactly. That's the way to go.
How many times you have a car now, one light comes on the dash, whether it be the air mixture or the fuel thing or something else, everything just starts shutting down. All the lights start going off. See your dealer, and the car just stops. It's like, oh, okay, what was the problem? Oh, I just had a bit of dust in the air cleaner. I was like, oh, fucking hell. And that shut the whole car down because the computer system goes nuts.
Right.
No, like I said, I like technology and I like things, but to me, things are moving way too fast. It's like, you know, when you look back at the old brick phones we used to have, and then they got smaller and smaller. But then there are things that went from smaller. Remember when you have these tiny things in your ears?
Yeah.
And now people are wearing fucking ear warmers around like the big old headphones again. And then I saw a thing the other day at the stores where, remember the old phones with the big handle you could pick up?
Yep.
They got now that you can actually plug them into your cell phone, like your mobile phone, so you can pretend you're on an old phone. I'm like, well,
you'd like have it between your cheek and your shoulder here, and you'd be like trying to do 40 things, and the phone be falling off your shoulder. I never said my mother was a champion. She would hold that thing up there. She'd be taking care of changing diapers and making dinner for us.
Have the bowl in the hand, stir, and making stuff. Yeah, that's right, Cheryl. That's right. We were coming around.
Exactly.
But they were the good old days. Remember, I used to love that phone because how long did, you know, when you first get the cords this long, after a year the cords stretch this far because...
Oh, yeah, they would go like, you have them stretched halfway across the house, right?
Well, if you wanted a private phone call, you'd have to pull it around the corner of the wall to try and talk to someone quietly. And then it was the old days too. You know, Rush, I got to call Dave really quick. Pick it up. But, you know, you should probably be like me. Did you get impatient and you put your finger in the O and then you try and pull it back really fast? And then the call wouldn't go through. Oh, fuck, got to do it again.
We're really dating ourselves now, Lee. Really dating ourselves.
But they were the good old phones. I used to like them.
Those phones were indestructible, right?
And
they never broke.
You had to push the thing to hang up. You had to actually push it down.
Those things didn't break, those phones. They lasted forever.
And how excited were you when all of a sudden that cordless one come for the house where you could just pick it up and pull up the antenna? Hey!
Yeah, that was...
I need a clothesline.
Those were for the rich people, though, Lee. It took a long time for us poor guys to get those phones. You know?
Down near the clothesline. This is incredible. I can talk to you from the backyard. But even remember, I had an old, I think it was an 840 BMW or 640, you know, the two-door one, and it came with that fucking phone in the car.
Oh yeah, no, the 800. I had the 850. Yeah, that was. They were in there.
Yeah, the V12 motor.
Yeah.
To pick up the center console, there was that big fucking phone in the car itself.
That was I loved the way that car looked, but that was a heavy car, right? Did you notice the brakes weren't really that good in that car?
No, it was a nice car though, but I like the new 6 ones now that look similar to newer versions.
Well, have you seen the new 8 ones they have now?
No, I haven't seen them.
Oh my God, you would go crazy if you saw one of those. They're amazing looking.
Well, there's so many nice cars now. Even like I shouldn't look, but I've been looking at sometimes, you know, the Audi R8, the V10.
I saw you put a picture up on your Instagram, I think it was, right?
I just put up a picture of my car and my friend's BMW, but yeah, the R8. You know, if you get a sports car, you want something that's reliable. So I've been watching the Maserati. I've never had a problem with it, but then you look in the Lamborghinis and this and that, but every review reckons for a supercar, the R8 is the best everyday driver. And, you know, cost-wise over a year or two, it's just pretty oil change and stuff like that compared to other cars.
I thought the Mercedes E63 was the perfect car. Fastest nice. Car, one of the fastest cars on the road. Luxury. It's not overly flashy. You know, I just loved it. I mean, I probably had 4 or 5 iterations of that car. You know,
well, that's where I get tossed up because you get an R8, it just looks like a supercar, sports car, whereas the Maserati I have, it's sporty but yet luxury. The same with the C63, it's sporty but yet luxury, and I like those type of cars like that where you have the best of both worlds. So that's why it used to be before I'd have a 2-door sports car, I'd get bored and then I'd go get a 4-wheel drive. Right. And after 6 or 8 months, you're like, but a 4-wheel drive's good, but wish they had a normal car again. So then you go back to a normal car. So
you know what though? I'll tell you something. Since I have kids now and I have the X5, and I actually I almost bought the X7. It was a little. They wanted a lot of money for the lease, but it's so comfortable to sit in those cars now. It's like you almost like, you know, especially when you have to haul a lot of groceries and kids, but yet still have a sporty car. You really can't touch those cars. They're really great, you know.
The only thing I hate now, you like me though, there's just so much technology in them. You get the fucking book and you sit there forever just trying to set up the phone, the navigation, the sound system. And if you're like me, I'm too impatient. If I buy it, as soon as I hop in before I leave the dealership, I've got to set the time, I've got to set this.
Oh, yeah.
And then even driving home, you're in a brand new car driving home, you're trying to set shit while you're driving.
Almost crashing the car, right? Exactly.
Exactly. It's like, I can't drive it, I need it all set up. So I'll sit there at the dealership for an hour sometimes, getting everything just fucking right before I fucking leave, because I need it all ready to go. Yeah. And the thing is too, I've tried to read those manuals, even the manual for the Maserati. I'm like, oh, fuck this. Best place to go, YouTube, how to set the clock for the Maserati. Within 10 seconds I knew how. Reading the book, it's like, turn, because there's two knobs and then an outer knob, then an inner knob.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even have instruction manuals anymore, because with YouTube, you could find anything on there. The most esoteric things, they'll show you how to set up on there.
How's this? When I got the Maserati, I think, okay, I got home and I'm going to check the engine. So I go to get the engine thing here, because where the dash goes down, it's got that little hook. So I pull it. I'm like, did it pop? I'm like, not popping. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't tell me the cable's thing already. Call up the dealership. Listen here, your fucking thing's not fucking working, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it came with warranty, right? And of course he's like, oh, Lee, I know this and that. You've done stuff for us. You put it online and you got followers. What I'll do is I'll add 2 years more to your warranty, full coverage. So anything goes wrong from power windows, fully covered. Yeah. I said, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Hang up the phone. I go back to the car where this handle was. I reach down further. Pop.
Oh, you feel like an idiot after that, yeah.
Yeah, because I was pulling on. I didn't know, because they have a glove compartment, but on this side they got another little glove box thing. So I was pulling on that. So when I pulled on it, it opened up. I went, oh. I called him back and said, yeah, don't worry about fixing it. My mate come over. Here's a mechanic. He tightened it up. Hey, I got 2 years extra warranty on the car, Dave.
Lee, it's because you were a bully. You bullied him, right?
I did. I said, listen here, I'm going to fucking go online and tell everyone you sell shit cars if you don't fucking...
Well...
But it was really good. But no, I've had a few people say, oh, the Maserati, be careful. But I think it's like any car out there. People, whether it's a Mercedes, there's good and bad. Some people have no bad experiences. Everything goes wrong. This goes off. I've got to take it back for another service for this. Sure. But the Maserati, touch wood, I haven't had a problem with it. I got a friend, he's got a top mechanic place here, and even when I get a car too, even though they always say it just had an oil change, I never believe them. I go get the oil done straight away. And so when I got it off the Maserati place, I went and got a new timing chain, new spark plugs, whatever. And my friend only charges me what it cost. That was about $700-800 for the timing chains, oil filters, because the oil filter, it costs a bit because that's a Ferrari oil filter.
Of course,
it says Ferrari on it. Whoopie-doo, and it makes it go faster. So he charged me like $700-800. So I said, out of curiosity, I'm going to call Maserati in Sydney. So I called him and I said, yeah, I just think to get the first major service, the timing chains, this and that. Okay, let me just look here. Well, just the oil change and this and that, without going into all the parts like the chains and the timing belts and that, you're looking at about $2,000 just to...
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, but they're charging, I spoke to one guy, they charge like $250 an hour labour.
Yeah, well, that's because if you go to the dealer, the dealer is always more expensive. Come on.
I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, what a rip-off. I said, oh, that'd be good. Okay, thanks.
I'm surprised you don't lease your cars. I can't believe you buy your cars.
Well, when I was in America, I used to lease them, because then, when a new model comes out, go change the lease over and stuff like that. But I prefer to own them outright if I can, but, it's like...
You don't even drive, though, that much. You probably would be better to lease your cars. You could write them off.
Yeah, but, I still ride off for business anyway, because here it's registered as a business car, so I still ride off as a business-type vehicle, but so you get the tax back on it, but... I don't know. I've always just liked to own them now, and I got a good deal. Look, I can't complain about the deal on it. If you buy a car for like $50,000 and you go to the insurance company to insure it, and they go, "What'd you buy it for?" I said, "Oh, it doesn't matter." I said, "What's it worth on your insurance books there?" $133,000. I'm like, "Thank you, insure it for that."
There you go, because that's what you're going to get for it, exactly, if something goes wrong.
Exactly. Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it? That's a good thing.
Well,
Those bloody kangaroos jumping out in front of me again.
That's right. What's going to be your next time jump you're going to make when you go back in time or go forward in time?
I'm not sure yet which way I'm going to go, but maybe I'll jump ahead just to see how things are going, to see if people are getting along better, because it's true what that doctor said too about this whole, they've done it forever, whether it be race, religion, divide and conquer. You always see it when, have you ever noticed when things are going nice and people are getting along well, something pops up, whether it be about race, whether it be about religion, whether it was before with 9/11, then everyone started hating on Muslims, or then it's something else with, things are going well, everyone's going to the sporting event.
Well, they want to divide everyone. They want us all to be divided.
All of a sudden, such and such, I'm not taking a knee. Fuck that. So now we've got this big divide against races again. And this and that.
That's the nature of the beast, because you know what? We're supposed to be together, but they want to divide us. And what better way to divide us than to put a freaking mask on us and make us stand 6 feet apart from each other, right?
And they reckon now, they're saying here on TV, once this is all done and the virus is faded away, that they reckon people won't be handshaking much anymore. It'll be like this or that. Or here in Australia, they're actually talking about they're going to get rid of all the buffets now. Buffets are going to be gone. No more buffets.
I'm not living in Australia. Forget that. Fuck that, man.
No buffets.
That's a reason to leave Australia, Lee, right there. Come on, man.
Oh, yes, that's ridiculous. Actually, it might be good because people might actually start losing some weight, because people like me, it's like even when I go to a hotel in the morning, they have that big buffet and I'm like, I just order from the menu. It might be a little bit more, but at least if I just order some type of oatmeal and yogurt and then I get some eggs on toast and a bowl of fruit, that's it. Whereas at the buffet, you can go get oatmeal, eggs on toast and fruit.
40
you sit
times,
down, you think you're being good. You're like, yeah, okay, ignore it. Then you look up, you're like, oh, fuck it. Plate of pastries, a plate of this, and then you just keep going. You know what it's like. You're full, your guts are full, but yet I see more food. I'm going back again.
I want to have the ability to eat as much as I want whenever I want. No one's telling me what I can eat. Don't take my buffets or I'm leaving the country.
But isn't it funny? You have those friends who can do that, and they're built like this.
Yeah.
They have no muscle, but they're skinny, and they just keep pounding the food in. But that's why I used to get up early at the hotel. I'd get up early at like 5 a.m., go to the gym, do an hour cardio. Then I'd go to the buffet and pig out, and then go back to the room and sleep a couple more hours. I don't know. But yeah, buffets going to be gone. It's the end of the world. So, but I just hope people slowly start getting back together, because some people I've noticed don't care about it, but some people, you walk into a grocery store, or I've been going in, they just stand there looking at you, waiting for you to go past because they want to keep their social distance. Like you said, you'd swear you had Ebola or some sort of thing like that, like it's that bad. And even that doctor's saying, look, these germs cannot jump this far. They can't jump 6 feet. They can't jump 13 feet. But I just wish, like I said before, yes, put out the news about a virus, be careful, wash your hands, whatever. But I just wish they'd have both sides, like have someone's opinion like this doctor. And it's not just this doctor. He said he's got hundreds of doctor friends that are in hospitals and they're saying the same thing. He's saying, like he said, that a guy from London really goes, I'm not just making this up or pulling it out of the air. This is from the CDC's websites. I got these papers. I got these other papers from here. It's like, this is all fact. You can look it up. So I'm not just like a conspiracy guy sitting there going, this is going to happen. This is what they're doing. He goes, go look it up yourself. It's like it's all there. So he even said, just everyone keep an open mind and make up your own mind. Don't just let the people in the media tell you this is the way it is and this is what's happening, because it's just nearly all bullshit. It's just scare tactics. Because I see it online now. Someone goes, oh, this is just scare tactics. They want to control us. And everyone starts attacking them. You're the problem. Why don't you just stay home? By you going out, you're the one doing this. You could probably guarantee 80% of the people that have died have all been in their 80s. Another one died here this morning, 86 in a nursing home. I'm thinking, if we just got rid of that's why I want to see the figures once this is over. If we just got rid of the coronavirus altogether, I'd love to see the number of old people in nursing homes that die weekly just from what they already have. It would be the
same. The numbers would be exactly the same. And you know what? The interview that Lee is talking about is the Dr. Buttar interview on London Real. You can go to London Real's website and check that out. It won't be on their YouTube channel because they've been taking down these videos that are controversial. So check it out there.
It's on I think I still got the link on my Facebook page for it too. So it's still up there.
All right. Yeah, Lee has it on his Facebook page. But anyway, all right, Lee, we'll stay safe over this next week, and hopefully no one will unfollow you. Matter of fact, I actually believe that you will get more followers from people telling people to unfollow you. Because then people will be like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to go follow Lee Priest. You know?
But that's the funny thing, because, you know, they always get new people in the sport and people come along.
Yeah.
When Generation Iron says something like that with the Bob video or the other people talking shit about me, it's like anything. You get these haters that talk shit, and then people who have probably never heard of me go, who are they talking about? Let me go have a look. They go have a look and go.
And then they follow you,
yeah. Some go, oh, he's a dickhead, but then the other 80 go, oh, he's pretty funny. I'm going to follow him, because when you go into Instagram, you have that little love heart where it tells you notifications.
Yeah.
And generally, all the time after GI does something, normally it will say someone liked your picture or someone left a comment. I can guarantee you the whole 50 will just be following. I've got all these new followers. So the more they talk shit about me, one or two might not follow, but then I get another 100 that do. So keep talking, GI. I'm getting more followers while you're losing them.
Let me see those fingernails before we leave.
And I did put up a funny video, if you go to my Facebook page too, of the count from Sesame Street. I said it's Vlad's latest interview.
Yeah, I saw that was pretty funny. You look like the count right now with those fingernails there.
Well, let me tell you about the time back in Transylvania when I used to hang out with the Impaler.
I'm Dave Palumbo for Lee Priest for another installment of Iron Rage.
They called it impaling. Blackman called it foreplay, but that's none of my business.